Welcome to Unfiltered Culture, everyone. This is Aman. If you ever felt like life is a journey full of twists and turns, this is the right place for you. Whether you grew up between two different places or you just love hearing unique stories, this podcast is for you. So if you want to hear more, subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our TikTok. More will be coming. And also we'll do the podcast on Spotify. So stay tuned. Thank you. So, today I have a good friend of mine to join me on my first episode of Unfiltered Culture. Anshu, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me here. It's been a pleasure to be the first guest.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you showing some love and joining me on my first ever podcast. So, before I start my questioning and everything, so just give me something about you. So, what is it that you do? Who are you? Where you from? And then we can go from there.
Yeah, I'm Anshul, originally from India, the north part of India, and I have been living in Germany, in Munich, for the last 7, 8 years, and I'm working in the tech industry.
All right. Okay. I mean, Indian and tech, it's kind of.
I know.
It's a cliche, but it's. Anyways. So, you tell us a bit what you do and where you're from. To dwell on that culture thingy, let's start with the question of how was it for you to the first time, like coming to Germany, and what was it for you?
Yeah, it's so when I came first to Germany around 2016, it was a bit different. So because English was not that common as it's been common now, and you have to speak. It was not more digitalized also at that time, so you have to communicate a bit more. But actually, that helped because it helped me or made me to learn a bit of a German. I'm still struggling with my German.
How's your German, by the way?
It's ein bisschen.
Ein bisschen. Yeah, I mean,
That's like the one bigger change, actually, the language change. Because in India, you speak either Hindi or English, and here it was German mostly. So that was a bigger change. But other than that, it worked out well because the supermarkets and everything. So it worked out actually. Yeah.
I mean, nowadays people are welcoming to the English language. People speak more,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I mean, they are interested in speaking the language. So, which is now it's very easy. Okay, then, how was it like to adjust to the German, whether it's culture, whether they're, how they live, how they proceed with their life journey. So, how was that for you?
Yeah, I think it's so. I think the one big positive effect of that culture on me was because I see Germans like going outside sports, especially like hiking and other things. So that helped me also to get into the hiking, going outside.
Oh, so do you do
Yeah,
hiking now? You did that before in Indian too, or is it new?
I mean, I was living on a Himalayas, so it was kind of like a bit.
It's everyday life. So
Yeah, but it's now here it was more focused, like sometimes going outside on weekends for hiking, doing some sports, gym, running. So that kind of like helped
adjust to the.
that particular side.
That's good. And I mean, sports. Okay, it's good. Next thing would be like, how is it like food
Oh yeah,
wise? Yeah, is it because Indian food is very like spicy, very like has different variety of foods. And Germans have like like a few. And how was that for you to see? Okay, that's what you eat, or is it like
yeah. I think the first German meal, if I remember, was mixed with cheese and onions. I don't remember the name, what it's called.
cheese and onion?
Yeah, it's like a lot of cheese, a bit with a onion. Yeah,
Käsespätzle?
it says case especially. That was the
Wow,
first.
I like that one. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's good actually, but it's still a lot less spicy than if you compare.
There's no spice
as
in that.
compared to Indian food. So
Yeah.
at first you don't like it.
Yeah.
So then that's when you come. So you prefer mostly cooking yourself then,
Yeah, sure.
as compared to going outside because it's not that cheap also to eat all every day outside.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so that's the biggest like if you have to say the food wise, so like cooking yourself instead of going outside. But I get used to a bit of a German food.
So that food becomes now your favorite food, or is
No,
it
I have I like the German one, which is the Kaiserschmarrn.
Kaiser? Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, yeah, I like the most. It would be at the top of my if I have to choose one dish within German food.
I mean, bear in mind you don't eat
Oh
meat,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's what.
So it's
Yeah, I'm
vegan.
vegetarian actually, not vegan.
Oh, vegetarian. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad. I mean, now I know you almost a year and a half, kinda, but I still don't get quite the full understanding of what you don't eat and what you eat. Can you explain to me why is that? Because sometimes people say I don't eat meat because I don't like the animals being killed and stuff like that. What is it for you that changes? Like, you know what? I'm not going to eat this or that. Can you give me a bit of
Yeah, I
understanding?
think so. This vegetarian and not eating meat is from the childhood because my parents were also vegetarian.
Or from childhood on,
Yeah,
you didn't eat.
so
Okay.
my parents were vegetarian. So in the house, it's always the vegetarian meals get cooked. And also in India, you have a lot of vegetarian options. So you
Yeah, that's
never
true.
feel like eating meat or anything. Maybe some of the proteins or stuff you lack, but you never feel it actually, like the taste wise.
I mean, is it true about the like in Indian you don't eat cow,
Yeah,
or is it like cultural thing or is it a religious thing?
it's religious actually. The cow is
Okay.
like a holy in India.
Sure.
So that's why.
And is it true that you guys believe that when someone dies, being born as a cow, is it something like that? Because I heard somewhere, and I'm not sure if it's true.
Me, it's there are stories like the
Okay.
people believe in reborn.
Okay.
So it says that if you did some good thing, so you would be reborn as a some good thing. So I don't know about this cow if it's reborn as a cow.
I mean, if the cow is holy, so it makes sense then if you.
Yeah, but I don't know about that story if it's
Okay. I mean, I just want to put it out there. So, seeing these, I mean, you probably traveled some places, but mainly for you, like Indian and Germany, seeing those two cultures. What does culture mean to you now?
I think for me the culture is like so mostly how people interact with you each other. So like how they bring their values, the background. So that's the culture for me actually more.
Okay.
So it's more like a people background actually.
Sure, they bring their own stuff and you bring yours and then combine them becomes a
So
bigger.
that's the culture actually for me. So like that which be different in India, how let's say like how they treat every guest as a god. Actually in India there is a saying that every guest is a god. So you treat, give them the water and everything. So those kind of that's the culture or the values which comes. And here over here it's a different. So those kind of things, the values, the background.
Okay. So, culture, like when, let's say, if you, about the wedding, okay, let's go. Because if we're an Indian, so I like Indian weddings. Before we go on, how is it? Is it true that you guys, as a husband, you give a lot of gold, or is it you give a lot of gifts to the wife, or?
Yeah, I mean it's like it's multiple days the weddings takes place. So there are different traditions from different days, and in some days you when you go, so you give actually gold, jewelries and stuff like that
What a nice
to
life,
the
huh?
wife. Yeah, definitely. In some parts of India, I think in the old times, so they even used to have a very strange kind of a tradition where they put the girl in like this weighing scale, and on the other side of the weighing scale would be the jewelry and stuff. To give the jewelry in that much amount, yeah, it's a.
Nice.
I don't know if it is still there, but I heard about that it used to be in some times.
So if you want to get married, you need some money. Just it's okay. I understand. I mean, wedding is always involved with. What are some lessons you have learned living in Germany? Like, let's say, I don't know, being punctual. The Germans are very punctual. So nowadays, I don't know
Yeah.
about that, but before when I came here, it was like, they're very punctual. You should be that and that. What is the lessons you learn when you?
I think that, yeah, the first thing which you mentioned is being punctual. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. So my timings are like being punctual now. So that's inherited into me now, being on
Mm-hmm.
time. So yeah, so definitely that. The other thing which I mentioned before, sports, being more fit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also which I learned from the German culture. So yeah, so I think those would be the two biggest, I would say.
Okay. And how does living in Germany influence your life or your goals in general?
I think, yeah, so the first, when I came over here, I came for my master's studies.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so when I was doing my master, so all the research and everything, when I was in the university, it was more focused on the research specific. So let's say if I would have gone to US or somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm sure that it would not have been the research focus. So I would not have done the PhD. I did my PhD at TUM.
Okay. Wow.
So that's what influenced me in doing the more focused on the research, actually, to be precise. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, what do you gain other than like school or like work when you came here? What is the one thing you said, "Oh, I'm happy that I'm here. I gained this thing or I gained that thing." So, what is it for
I
you?
think the biggest gain would be meeting my girlfriend,
Nice.
topmost,
Nice.
because I met her over here. If I would have it anywhere else, I would not have probably not met her.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So and she is living in Germany, but her background is from Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Ah, nice.
the biggest actually the gain.
That's nice. So, okay, girlfriend. How long are you guys
So
together?
it's been almost around 3 years.
Three
Yeah.
years. Okay, so we are going to that phase where the Indian thingy is happening, right?
Yeah, you probably would get the invite.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, nowadays after this huge Indian wedding, everybody thinks like Indian weddings
Yeah,
are Rihanna, Chris Brown. You have to invite everyone, right? So
but not
let's
that
see.
way.
I mean, it's a nice thing. Is it more difficult to adjust because of Turkey and India is like a bit
Yeah.
different? Is it difficult to adjust to each other's culture, or is it like easier now once
It
you?
was easier, so
Hmm.
because she also liked vegetarian food a lot, and so we mixed together with that. And then the culture values, if you see the background, it's quite a bit similar. If you go back, actually, like how the people greet, meet, it's like a big family system, like both sides.
Hmm.
So it's a bit similar. So you get it actually. The languages are different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
food.
food wise, yeah, it's different. I like the Turkish food as well.
They eat meat
Yeah,
also a
they
lot. So it's
yeah.
so. Have you been to Turkey or has she been to
It's
India?
both are
Both happens. Okay. So how was it for you going to Turkey and how was it for her going to India? Probably we'll ask her one day. She will be on this podcast. Stay tuned. She will tell us her side. But how was it
yeah.
for
For
you?
me, it was quite a good experience, I would say. So I like being to Turkey. So we
Hmm.
went to
Hmm.
Istanbul and then to Cappadocia, and it felt a bit like to be in India actually.
Oh, nice. A bit
And
similar.
people were quite friendly, were asking you for the food, was free of like keep giving you the tea. So it's like without any price or anything. So they will keep adding you more tea, giving the
Oh, yeah, that one is
yeah.
good.
So it's quite actually like a good to be there. So I would probably go again.
Nice. So they are very famous for their breakfast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I like the
Breakfast.
breakfast the most over there.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, then that's nice. So let me get you to the work situation. So you said you were in tech. I mean, like I said in the beginning, Indian are very smart people and they're always involved with some tech. So explain to me how you or is there a moment where you decided, okay, this is gonna be my
The field, or like how I've came into the tech field itself.
yeah.
So if I go look back, so how I came into the tech field, it was in the childhood. So around 2000 or something. So
Very bad.
very back.
Okay.
So when there were not much computers, and my father bought a new computer. So it was like the only computer in the whole town.
Nice.
And I was playing games.
Of course.
And at that time, I think the PowerPoint, so in the schools, there were not much computers also.
Yeah, I
But
remember.
my school had like a computer lab or something. So where you could learn a bit. But because of me having the computer at home, being a bit privileged,
Yeah, because you're a bit further than now the
so then
others.
I
Okay.
was a bit further than the others. So that's where I got into more into starting with the web designing, HTML and CSS at that time, then
Nice.
going into other programming languages. So that's how it got like me into the computers, and now with the AI and stuff like that.
Yeah, I will come back to that
Yeah,
one. So go on.
AI, more other things around it, cloud,
Okay.
everything. Yeah, so it's all back related to those things.
Okay, well, so when you mention childhood, because whenever you grow up in a different country, you have a very, very different culture or very different childhood than you would have here. So, about the tech situation, do you have, like, when you go back to your childhood, do you have anyone from your childhood you have still contact with and still in the same field as you?
Me, I do have my friends, so whom I have contact with, but they are not like in the tech field, but like they are in the managerial field. But they also started with the tech field, then switched to managerial field. So yeah, so still we have the
But you still have some contact with your
I
friends.
still have the contact.
If you to say when like what was your favorite year from the whole like from school, high school and okay, forget Germany school, like when you were in Indian from first class until 10, 11, what was your favorite year?
So in the school actually, I think
Yeah.
the best would be around maybe 10th
10th? Okay, what happened
or
there?
11th could be.
What
So
happened?
it's so like because you are like becoming like the more senior most people in the school in the school actually, and teacher starts to know you, and because I was not like I was a bit good in the education, so it was like you could do anything actually. So teacher won't scold you or anything. So you get a bit extra privilege of like I was playing football, so you could play a bit longer and stuff. So that I think that was a bit
Your favorite
yeah.
year. Nice, nice. I mean, it's so now is it different experience school in India and school in Germany?
Means I haven't attended the school, but like the university wise, I can say like the bachelors in India and bachelors or masters in here. So masters over here is more like an independent. So you have to decide what kind of a courses you want to take. You have to think of which path you want to follow with those courses. Bachelors in India is like you have the fixed courses, so you just have to go through with that. But what I see over here, like students in masters or bachelors, they are doing a lot of things outside the courses as well, like doing a part-time jobs and earning the money also with that. But which in India is not the case during the bachelor, so you just focus on the studies. But I feel like doing the part-time jobs or something helps you because you earn a first
Learning by
yeah
doing, of course,
you
right?
earn the money also you also do lot more practical stuff in the industry and things actually. So
Because they require a lot of practice, right? Even if you study and they said, what is your experience? How long did you work and stuff like that? So
yeah, I
it's
mean
like,
it's practical definitely helps. So but now with going into different kinds of industry actually. So you have like with AI and stuff like that. So it changes actually. So how people can now, I've seen that in India or here, so they can do their own projects also at home and get more practical experience. So you don't have to be in the industry or to do so.
Yeah.
So you can do your own things also.
Nice. So, AI has been mentioned multiple times now, so we have to talk
It's
about it.
everywhere.
Yeah. So, AI, what do you think about that?
With AI, so as people believe in so there are two thoughts actually. Some people believe that AI is not good. Some believe that AI is good. So I'm more on the second option side, that AI is good.
It's good, okay.
Because it's a kind of like a revolution. So if you go look back, so how the internet came, the computers, so it was a revolution actually, which changed certain kind of a jobs to another kind of a jobs. So it automated certain jobs, and but the other jobs opportunity opened up. The same is happening or will happen with AI. So where certain jobs would be automated or move to AI, and then some other jobs on top of that will open up. So it's a for me, I believe it's a good kind of a revolution, because then people don't have to do those like small tasks. They can focus on more creative and other stuff, which AI can't do.
Makes sense about culture, yeah. Do you think that AI or give me an example of how AI is influencing or like connecting different cultures so they can grow or understand each other?
I think the one of the example would be, so like a live translation. So let's say if you go into different country and that person does not speak your language, so you can use AI chatbot or some other things to directly do a live translation between the two persons. So that would be, let's say you speak English, the other person speaks something else like German. Then you just put the chatbot in between them, and that the chatbot can do a real time translation between you two. Nice. So that would bridge the gap between the two kind of a different culture, or I would say language barriers.
Okay, I mean it's helping us. Like the things we cannot do, it's giving us kind of help
It's
to
bridging the gap actually, yeah, or helping to learn or get to understand other culture. Yeah, either way.
so because like mainly now it's more ChatGPT or Gemini and Google whatever. So I got two questions for you. Which one do you use daily, and which one you like and don't like?
So I have a diplomatic answers to both of these. So I don't use either of them for my like daily tasks. It's more of a like if I have to, let's say, like plan an itinerary or something, then I will try to use both and see which one gives me the better answers or not, and then mix and match actually both of them.
Okay.
So that's then the answer for the second question is which one is better. So both are good at different things.
Okay.
So there is no one yes like a binary solution like this is better, this is good, bad. So one is good for some things, other is good for some other things. So it depends on the task which you are trying to solve with each of them.
Okay. I mean, this is the first episode, so we definitely I'm gonna have you again sometimes. So since it's our first episode, we shouldn't do it very long. But I got two things. So, what advice would you give others who considering to move in a different country to follow their dreams?
I think my biggest advice would be that keep focus, hard work, and try to learn or get involved in the culture of that particular country wherever you are moving into. So yeah, and just believe in yourself. That would be the biggest.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I would say thank you very much for sharing a very short, but still a bit of fun conversation. I appreciate it. I will definitely have you for different topics
Yeah,
again.
thank you for having me.
Thank you so
It's
much.
been a pleasure. Actually, maybe before you end, I can ask you a question.
Sure, sure.
So, what made you actually to think of doing the podcast?
Yeah, that's a good one. To be honest, I always like whenever I'm with a friend or like with bunch of friends, we talk about some good or like we had so good conversation. It's like, this is gonna be a good podcast. And then I say, okay, I will do it, and then I don't do it, and then Gibbs like keeps, you know. And then one day I just say, you know what, I will buy the all like the stuff, the equipment, all I need, and then I don't have any excuse. So that's how it was. He's like, you know what? I ordered it and then I contacted you. Like, let's do this. I already got it, and that's
Yeah.
how I started. To be honest, it's I don't know. I mean, you always talk with people. Why not make it
Yeah,
fun?
I think that's definitely like just do it. So if you believe
Yeah.
in something, just do it.
Thank you. So I have I'm starting one good like in this podcast a culture. Will I will continue. Every guest will write down a question for the next guest without knowing who they're writing this question for. I would ask you to write down on our very cute book one question that will be for the next one. Okay,
Perfect.
just write it down, and the next guest will be happy to answer the
Yeah,
question.
definitely. I am happy to write any a good question.
All right. So, guys, thank you for listening. Whoever is here, thank you for giving us your time to listen to this conversation. My name is Aman, your host, and this was Anshu, good friend of mine. Um,
Thank you for having me here. It's been a pleasure, and I wish you all the best for your future podcast. And maybe I'll come back again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's it from us, guys. Thank you, and see you next time. Peace.